Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From the Banking podcast. Today, as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts, Amber and Orange, and the Cadet Marshal. Hi to you both.
Hello,
I'm still here.
So on today's show, we're joined by a female racing driver who hails from Cork and Ireland and who is trying to get to F1 Academy and be the first Irish driver in the F1 Academy series. I am, of course, talking about Kayls Cole. Hello, Kayls. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Well, thanks for agreeing to come on. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I was saying just to themselves that I haven't been really responding to the emails, but I've just been so busy. I'm trying to document a documentary with a film series over here in Ireland. So I'm living in the UK at the moment. But never since I moved to the UK and I've gotten the opportunities in the UK to drive in GB4 this year, Ireland are now coming on board. So I'm like literally back and forth like a yo-yo. I might as well have jet lag from the Ryanair flights on the 40-minute flights. It's ridiculous.
Back in the podcasting mood, John.
So the event that you've got on the 15th of February, a week on Sunday,
Yeah.
KCR, the KCR event that you're putting on.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. So basically, I was sitting in my room one day in the UK. I had about 4 or 5 meetings that day, and my dad calls me, and we're very good family friends with a guy called Guy Wynn. His son races, and I would have helped his son for quite a while in go-karting when he started, and he now does races minis over in Ireland. So we helped him for quite a bit, and he's always been following my career and wanting to help me in any sort of way to try and raise funds. I didn't really want to go down the route of setting up a GoFundMe anymore because I kind of want to, if I want to go out racing, I want to get it from people wanting to support me through companies or partners, or even setting up something that we could try and do in a fundraising way instead of putting it online. So he come up with an idea of putting up a sprint. So he's like, there's sprints like over in Ireland anyway that run like twice a year at the start of the year. So he said, we'll do our own. We'll call it KCR Road to GB4 or Road to F1 Academy GB4 in 2026. So he called it the Sprint to GB4 because that's like the kind of next step. And we got a lot of traction from it. We kind of done up a few logos to see if people would be interested. And we kind of planked it in between 2 of the sprints to try and get a bit of traction. And we did. And we have like over 60 entries now at the moment. But it's across 12 classes. So we have like juniors, junior minis, hot rods, there's CMOG buggies there. So we have I think we have like 8 or 9 buggies, which is quite cool. So it's good. But we wanted to make it more of an event that anyone that wants to get involved in motorsport, has a passion for motorsport and doesn't have a race car, that they can come up and kind of spectate or get involved as well. So I have 2 simulators there on the day as well, with a company that I've worked at in the past with Williams. And I have 2 simulators there. We're doing time trials. And then Porsche Ireland are coming up to showcase some of their cars. And we have kind of Cork car scene, some of the car scenes coming up with all the lads, in their zooped up Lexuses and whatever they have. So we have a few.
Like a really, really big event.
Yeah. So we're trying to make it as big as possible. Not only for me, like obviously the fundraising is obviously going to help with my season. And that was why it was originally made, to try and fundraise a bit of money to get me on the grid for the start of the year. We won't probably make what I need for the season, but it's definitely trying to get my name out there around Ireland and Cork, because it's not as well known over here in Ireland as is in the UK or Edinburgh or anything like that. So it was the best option. So I was in newspapers and radio stations over the week, and just advertising it, just to, there's people out there that have contacted me like, oh, I want to get my kid into karting, or I want to, start sim racing, or can I come up and have a look at your race car? So it's just a great way to try and get more even young people or older people that have a passion for cars or whatever to come up and have a look and see what the gig is. So it's not only for me, it's for kind of Ireland as well to kind of get involved. So
could you just go into just the full details of the event a week on Sunday, just like the address and
Yeah.
the time it's starting and all that kind of stuff?
So we're running a sprint on the 15th of February in Watergrass Hill in County Cork. It's called the KCR to GB4 Sprint on the road to F1 Academy. So on the day we'll have Port Ireland, we'll have simulators, and there'll be 12 classes across the day to basically go out and have a bit of fun and race cars. But we're not only doing it as a fundraiser for myself, we're having people come down who are motorsport enthusiasts or interested in motorsport or want to get involved. And just having a bit of a family fun day for people that are motorsport mad. So, yeah.
What time does it all kick off?
All starts at 9 o'clock. First car's on track at 9. And we'll probably finish obviously into dark then. But I'd say trying to get people off track with the amount of people we've had interested would be an interesting one. We'll probably be running in under floodlights, I'd say.
And if I'm right, if you get up to F1 Academy, that you would be the first female Irish driver in F1 Academy. Is that right?
Yeah. So that's the plan. There hasn't been an Irish girl reach the F1 Academy grid yet. And I kind of want to change that, and kind of it's for me as well, just to kind of, I've always been around motorsport all my life, and I started quite late compared to a lot of people. I have a hardworking family. They wouldn't be the wealthiest, but they've helped me get this far. I have the drive, I have the determination. It's just obviously the funding has always been an issue, as it has for many other drivers. So I'm doing everything I can to make it happen. And I thought, well, there hasn't been a female in F1 Academy from Ireland, so why not do that for myself in a way, to earn my spot at that level, but also inspire kind of more girls that it is possible at this level as well. So
just kind of off the back of that, Ireland is obviously known for its incredible drivers: Fionn McLaughlin, Alex Dunn, Brian McKeever, James Dean, and the Shanahan brothers, just to name a few off the top of my head. I could keep going. Who is your favourite Irish driver apart from yourself, and why?
I don't know. I couldn't have a favourite, I suppose. Probably someone I look up to a lot because he's helped me in the past with some of my stuff would be Eamon Kelly. He does rallying. I would have brought up around rallying more than track racing. Obviously, you look up to the likes of Alex Dunn and Fionn McLaughlin, who are doing incredibly well for Ireland and kind of making their mark at that international stage for other Irish drivers to do. So everyone, I think, coming from Ireland that's at that level, like you said, naming them, they're doing an incredible job for Ireland. So I think all of them are inspirational, really. But one for me would be probably Eamon Kelly, because he has helped me in the past and he does very well in rallying as well. And his dad would have been Donna Kelly, who's done very well as well. So, but obviously you have the likes of Dunn up in F2, and he's doing an incredible job and putting Ireland on the map for us, as well as Fionn McLaughlin following his steps as well. So.
Do you have many tracks in Ireland that you can choose from to race at?
In
Scotland,
terms,
we have Knock Hill here. If we want anything else, we need to go down to that place below the borders.
We wouldn't have. No, we only have Mondello Park, which is kind of like the main one everyone kind of knows in Ireland. But we have Kirkestown and Bishop's Court as well. They're up the north. So you're kind of sisters. I suppose you're just a boat away from that. But yeah, no, it's Mondello would probably be the biggest one. But I love Kirkestown and Bishop's Court up the north as well. I've raced them as well. But yeah, there's only 3 main ones. In terms of karting, there's probably a lot more. You have like kind of one in every sort of county, but car racing, there's not much over here as such. It's more the UK based.
I've seen on your socials as well, you announced there was a new title sponsor for the event.
Yeah, so we announced a new title. It's GK tires. So he's down in Middleton, so it's not far from me. He actually has a little girl who races. So I think she does like the little hot rod cars, the little micra. So yeah, it's great to have him on board. I suppose, we were looking for a title sponsor. We want to advertise the event first to get the interest, and then we have all the trophy sponsors covered as well. And it kind of engages more of an interest for myself as well, in terms of my career, to try and see if they'd be interested in supporting myself as well, and what I'm doing. But yeah, they came on board as a title sponsor, so we're delighted to have them on board, and especially since he has a little one himself, trying to, I suppose we can be an inspiration for ourselves as well moving up. So
a title sponsor, do they like say when they sponsor you, we'll cover this and this?
So for the title sponsor for the sprint, they're covering like the overall kind of, I suppose most of it would be the track fees, because obviously there's a certain track fee there to hire the track for the day, because you have to hire carts or whatever that would lose out. So in terms of title sponsor, he'd have, we have all the individuals that have sponsored the trophy kind of classes and stuff like that as well. But the overall sponsor will kind of get obviously the most recognition on the day and kind of get the banners around the circuit. And he's doing kind of, we have obviously people in the background doing quite a lot for us in terms of setting it up, etc. But in terms of like, helping us financially to try and get the event going, he's probably the main guy that would be doing it. So he gets the most kind of exposure, etc. on that. So.
And for anyone turning up to the event on the Sunday, is there an entry fee, or do you have to book in advance? Or
there is an entry fee, so it's €10 per person to come in. So obviously it's not like your regular Formula One weekend or BTCC or anything like that. But it's so it's €10 to come in. Obviously, if there's a family there, we're not going to be charging 50 quid, but where we just want everyone to have a bit of fun, but obviously kind of make our mark that it's a fundraiser, and kind of, I think anyone that's coming through the doors is coming to support the cause and who I am and through my socials. So that's what we're charging coming in. But to be fair, like most of them are going to be family friends, so we'll probably get away with
it. Have you had to recruit marshals as well for the event?
Because we'd be down 100%.
Oh, halfway.
You can come over all you want.
Hell yeah.
We have marshals for every post. So I actually haven't organised that side, so I'm turning up hoping that there is going to be marshals there. But if not, I'll give you a call and you can come on a flight.
Will do.
Arran, you're sitting in the bottom corner of my screen there, very quiet. Have you got anything you'd like to ask him?
I'm just listening, I'll be honest. I've got my questions. I've got some aside there. You've mentioned the touring cars a couple of times. So, obviously, right now you're in Formula Racing, looking to go into GB4 F1 Academy. Would you ever consider going to like GT sort of touring cars?
100%. Obviously I come from a karting background. My dad would have been a rallying man, and my family would have been rallying kind of people. So it was kind of shock when I went towards that kind of era of motorsport on track racing. My dad didn't have a clue what was going on. When I first started karting, he is mechanically minded from the rallying, but we started on the back foot, didn't really know what was going on. And then we entered our first event and kind of went from there. But in terms of karting, it always edges towards the single seaters. Anyone that's kind of made it in karting in a way and won championships, they always get the opportunity to write single seaters or Janetta Junior, and then normally that goes on to single seaters anyway. If I could go back in time, I don't regret what I've done in my career in terms of doing the single seater stuff. But there definitely is a lot of opportunities down the GT line. With the F1 Academy, it does help as a girl moving up in the world of motorsport to make that your name on that platform. But I definitely wish I had done something tin top to kind of have that in my CV as such. But if I'd done a year in GB4 or a year or two, depending on the financial cost of things, and then done, let's say, a year in F1 Academy or 2 years, whatever that may be. I think it's 2 years, and then you kind of have to move on.
Is it 2 years, or if you win the championship your first year, you can only be
if you win the championship your first year, you get put into GB3, and then but other than that, then if you don't, you get the 2 years. I think it is, obviously, if you can stay with the team, etc. But after that it would be GT 100%. The family that I've had, again, they've been wonderful to back me to where I am now, and now I'm looking for big partners to back me from here on. But in terms of F3 and F2, I have to kind of take my age into consideration as well. And kind of, I've always kind of known going into karting, obviously everyone's dream is Formula One. But you kind of, when you get older, you kind of have to take it into consideration that it's not always going to happen. You have to kind of have that luck. When you think of it, there's 20 seats a year and 1 or 2 drivers get swapped. And there's not a girl in there yet. So it's very hard, especially if you're not at that platform, and especially they're looking at girls that are a lot younger now. So yeah, I definitely I'd like to play in the GT year. That's the plan. On the aftermath, especially with the team that I'm hoping to go with this year, they have a GT team, so it kind of opens more opportunities for me as well. But it's definitely I would go GT or British touring cars obviously is something that would be amazing. But I think the single seat is probably a bit cheaper than that right now.
I mean, you've mentioned it a couple of times, but I just want to ask you this. Being a woman in motorsport is obviously extremely difficult at any level, whether it be as a marshal, a team member, or a driver like yourself.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, what would you say the main blockages are from women in motorsport?
If I'm totally honest, I always get asked, like, this is going to be me as blunt as possible. I always get asked if, what's it like being a woman in the sport? And if I'm totally honest, I started karting, and don't get me wrong, I had to earn my respect on track. You always have to earn your respect on track. But I think that's that's in terms of male or female. Females obviously maybe have to earn it a bit more. And I've had that over the years, you get pushed off, but I've always kind of took it in my way that I'm probably getting hit off, or I'm probably getting, hassled because I'm quick, or I'm quite good in the car, So I've never really looked at it as oh, I'm a girl and da. Don't get me wrong, until the F1 Academy was there, I think girls do have struggled because there's not a pathway for Formula One there at all. Like, you had Sophia Flores-Dent that went as far as Formula 2. Unfortunately, she didn't make F1, but I think if that F1 Academy offer was there at that time, would she have? Probably. So yeah, it has been a struggle as a girl, don't get me wrong, because maybe companies kind of look and say, this is unusual, can she make it? Because it's always been males that have made it. But I've always kind of looked at it as, once the helmet goes on, it's man, you can't really see what you are. So I just kind of race as one. So yeah, I've never really homed in on the whole female. Obviously, it is an advantage. It does help you being a female in the sport at this time in the motorsport world. But yeah, and I've always kind of raced against males all my life, and we have to earn respect on track, and that's always how I've raced. So
fair enough.
Yeah,
Sean,
we've got some great female racers. We see it not Kill. Hannah Chapman. I don't know if you ever met Hannah or spoke to Hannah. She races at Not Kill quite a bit.
Logan Hannah, is it?
Yes.
Hannah Chapman. Yeah.
Oh, Hannah Chapman. Yeah, she races the Porsches, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've never met her, never spoke to her, but I follow her on media. Yeah, she's definitely done a lot in her career. She's really she's an inspiration, really, to any girl around the country.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever raced at Not Kill?
No.
No.
That's the one. That's the one track I've actually never touched. In a race car.
Right.
Yeah,
unacceptable.
So it has to be ticked off my bucket list. I actually attended the BTCC there in 2023 with Napa Racing, but I've actually never raced there personally. But like that jump as you come over the hill, oh, I'd love it.
But then we've got Not Kill's the only circuit that's regulated to go both directions.
Oh, really? Okay.
So like when you were there for the touring cars, they were going what we call clockwise.
Yeah.
But it's also licensed to run full races anti-clockwise, or as we used to call it, WD, wrong direction. But it's now not wrong direction; it's just anti-clockwise.
Okay.
Instead of going down Duffus Dip, you're coming up Duffus Dip, so you get a bit of air coming up it as opposed to
yeah.
And
right.
trust me,
what corners are you on then? Do you have your specific corners that you're on when you're at events, or
no,
is it kind of scattered all the time?
They get allocated on the day. They try to mix it up so that everyone gets a shot of everything. Towards the end of the year, it can be a case of, well, do you know what? You done that one the last time. It ran really well. We'll just put you back there.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. And there is people that I suppose have their own post.
Yeah.
But these are one. I mean, I've been doing it 15 years at Not Kill. These people have been doing it 3 times longer than me. They get their choice where they want.
And what would be? I know the circuit layout, but I haven't obviously raced it. But what would be your kind of favorite? What would be your go-to if you had an option? My
go-to is I'll start and then everyone can go down. Sorry, I keep butting in here. We call it post 1. But you would know it as in the middle of the pit lane. We have there's a tower where the marshals stand. So I generally do flags. I'm flag marshal.
Okay.
And the reason I like post 1 is because 1, it's closer for lunchtime. It's literally just walking across the road to the marshal's hut, and there is always a toilet on hand if you need it.
And you get a window if it starts raining, so you can just close it.
Yeah, it's like a greenhouse. But I will say, in my 15 years, I have marshaled every single post multiple times. I've flagged them all. I've incidented them all. I've post-chiefed them all. There isn't a bad post for marshalling at Knock Hill. There is ones that you prefer over others.
Yeah.
But there isn't particularly a bad post because of the way the circuit is. You're always generally getting a really good view of the racing.
Yeah.
Like if you're up at Clark's up at post 6, you can literally see what's happening down at McIntyre's when like I sit and see 1 rolls a few times.
Yeah.
And chicane as well, because they've got Knock Hill have now got the bolt-on sausage curbs.
Yeah.
Take them away from the bike event, put them back onto the cars. But they're the ones that you see all the best photos, like the Napa cars going up 2 wheels and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the best place for the photography anyway. I've seen a few come over there.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
One, I find that's one good tip for any circuit you go to is find out where the photographers are, because generally they're in the best places for the best action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, what would you say is your best favourite?
Oh, for myself, it is a tie between post 3, which is McIntyre's. Yes. As you're heading down into Duffus, or post 6, which is Clark's, because I'm an instant marshal by trade. I say that I'm an instant marshal. I absolutely adore it, and those two, besides the hairpin, those are your typical hotspots for incidents. So
yeah.
So it lets me do what I love and just run out in the rain and get flipped off by a touring car driver.
I know where to bin it. So if I ever come to
exactly, you'll get me, and I'll be like, "Hi, you told me you would bin it, and you have. Well done."
If nothing else, you need to get down there and do like an experience day just so you can see
yeah. I'm living in Northampton, so it's probably like 5 hours, 6 hours,
something like that. You're probably closer to Silverstone than we are.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes from Silverstone.
Right, so you're about 7 hours then.
Oh yeah, so we might get a plane. So I'd say.
Yeah. Well, 2 of us have done that journey down to marshal the British Grand Prix, so don't recommend it. Arran, although you are an assembly marshal, what is your favourite post, or what would be your favourite post at Knock Hill?
Just context, just for any first-time listeners and Kayls yourself. Since I'm under 16, I'm only allowed off track, so I'm not allowed.
Okay.
I'm not allowed on track, so I can only do assembly in paddock, which I don't probably prefer paddock, to be honest, because it's more fun. Get to show people to get out of the way. But if I had to choose favorite post on track, it would either be post 6 at Clark's or post 10. I'll be honest. But I don't know why I like sort of the hairpin sort of area. But post 10 on a touring car weekend would be brilliant. You get all the fans behind you, you get the screens world watch open. So
post 10 can be good, but typically you're just pushing stuff out the pit lane or opening up the paddock free gate. So
maybe post 6 over it then.
Yeah.
And believe me, pushing a touring car up that pit lane is very, very, very heavy. I was explaining to a guest last week, in the last race, nothing happened really this year at the touring cars in August. Nothing really happened at all. And I was on post 10, and it was a scorching hot weekend. I mean, it was properly hot. And it was literally the flags had got packed away. The checkered flag had went out. The flags were all away. Everyone was getting ready, and Daryl DeLeon broke down in the pit lane entry, and we had to run out and push him all the way up to the pit.
And Knock Hill is on a hill, as it says in the name.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Yeah, that's probably the worst part of it as well.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, my daughter's a marshal as well.
Oh yeah.
She was on post with me that day, so I made her push harder than me. But yeah, we both pushed it up the pit lane until the team came down from the pit wall and gave us a hand. But that was an interesting. It was just like I say, nothing happened the whole weekend. It was just the last day, the last minute, the last race, the last lap. Everything was a lap, and Daryl just broke down right there on the pit lane entry.
And who would be, obviously you get a lot of the BTC attraction up at Knock Hill. Who would be your top BTCC driver, I guess.
That's a very hard question.
There has to be one. Like, you have to have one favourite.
I'm going to say mine's is going to be an ex-touring car driver, to be honest. And it's Colin Turkington. He's probably my favourite.
Okay, yeah. You like the Irish drivers are basing on.
I was about to say, would it be a cop out if I said Arran Taylor Smith because he is also Irish?
Yeah.
But no, Arran Taylor Smith, he's a lovely guy. I've had a lot of conversations with him, and he's just so lovely. That's the thing. Irish people are lovely. I suppose it's because Irish and Scottish people are apparently very alike, so that's probably why we get on so well. But
yeah, no, ever since I've moved to like Northampton, like obviously I don't speak that proper British, Northampton's like that proper rich accent, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So when I speak, they're like, "Is your one Scottish, or is she from what part of Ireland are you from?" And I was like, "Right, okay, I'm not Scottish anyway, but I'm actually Irish."
Yeah. Do they ever mix you up down there? Do they ever mix you up down there for North and South?
North and South of Ireland, is it?
Do they ever mix your accent up when you're down there? Do they think you're?
They always ask me like, "Where are you from, North or South?" And I'm like, North and South is two completely different accents.
Exactly, aye.
Like Northern Ireland is probably more like the Scottish accent than the Southern.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're two completely different things. So I don't know what they'd be listening to down there, but it's definitely not Cork anyway.
Arran, who's your favourite touring car driver?
I've got a few in my head. Don't kill him, Mikey. But former, I would have to say Ronan Pearson, because he's from Dunfermline. Started spotting him, and he lost his seat. The race after started spotting him, so great fun. But on the grid currently has to be Knockell's own Gordon Shedden.
Fair.
That's because he'll have a go at you when he sees you at the next meeting up there. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Like, Gordon, we love you. You're your favourite. Please don't. I've heard you shout. It is terrifying.
I haven't.
You don't want to.
I was absolutely bouncing when he won at Alton this year. I think it was on Park. They won that, and that was brilliant. Loved that. Race career, what's it?
I don't know if you know the setup Kayls up at Knockhill. See, obviously, Gordon being the touring car driver, he actually still has his job at Knockhill.
Okay.
And his wife runs Knockhill. She's the big boss, Gillian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's how I was saying the next time, because we're up at a training day up there. Although I don't think those two are going, but there's the first meeting of the year. I can just see Gordon coming down from the office and saying, "What were you talking about me on that podcast?"
Funniest thing is Gillian Shedden, the circuit owner's brother, is Rory Butcher, who's also an ex-touring car driver. So connected in more ways than you'd think.
Yeah.
And both of them are in the Kaiser Chiefs video.
Yes.
So cool.
Arran on TikTok has been doing however many days of random fun facts until we're back racing. So that's the whole reason we have these.
I was very bored on the off season. That's all I'm gonna say.
You still are very bored.
But yeah.
Anyway.
Kayls, who's your favourite touring car driver?
Me, probably I get on really well with Arran Taylor, so I probably would have to say him. But if I had to pick before I kind of got to know Arran, it probably would have been Turkington. I know a lot of people don't like Plato, but I think his attitude in driving was quite cool.
He's so good.
Yeah, I kind of liked Plato when he used to race. But yeah, probably would have to be Turkington, if not obviously Arran Taylor now. So
that man's getting ambushed this year up at Knockhill with a microphone.
Oh, yes.
Jason Plato.
Oh, really? Well, his workshop is only like 10 minutes from where I live. Like, his new workshop. Yeah, so.
What do you think about that, by the way? Him now owning a touring car team?
I kind of, well, it was kind of seen coming, wasn't it? Like, he's been in it for so long. He has the experience of being a driver, but also having the kind of recruitment in the team behind him. So it was seen coming. I didn't like when it came out. I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. He's kind of has the experience to do it. But have they announced? I haven't really been keeping an eye on because I've been so busy. They obviously haven't announced anyone yet.
No.
A lot of people were saying Jade Edwards, but I don't know.
Please, we need another female back on the touring car grid. I mean, I think it's only been her and I believe with Jess Hawkins, so we definitely do need someone.
I'd like to see Jess Hawkins back there. I really like. She done well. I'd like to see her back in it.
Yeah, I think she's busy with Aston Martin though.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Anyway, what is your favourite UK track? That isn't Knockhill.
A lot of people will probably be like, "Oh, definitely Silverstone." No, Cadwell has to be Cadwell.
That's not bad show.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Your one's actually mad in the head," like, because it's like the tightest track in probably the UK. But yeah, no, I absolutely love Cadwell Park. It just reminds me of go-kart days, just twisty, tight chicanes. You just kind of have to kind of have a bit of braveness when you're going down the inside of people and kind of close your eyes and hope for the best, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, Cadwell, it looks really cool.
Yeah,
I have tried to drive it on Project Cars. I cannot. It is it's so hard to drive on a video game, but yeah, it looks really cool.
yeah, Cadwell Park now or Brands Hatch. Now I haven't been on the GP circuit in Brands Hatch. If I was to do the season this year with GB4, it would be my first time on the GP. I've done the Indy, but I love the Indy, so if I like that, I'll probably like the little twisty loop around the back as well, because it kind of, from what I've seen on the sim, the Brands Hatch around the back kind of looks similar in terms of like twisty twine, like with like Cadwell Park. I'm assuming it's obviously a lot wider. But yeah, it would have to be Cadwell Park. Sadly, if I was to race F1000 again this year, it's taken off the calendar because everyone's entries go empty because no one wants to race there. And I'm like, it's literally the best. I think it's the best UK track. Obviously, I'm biased because I absolutely love it, but that's why I would probably like Knockhill, because that's quite tight, twisty. You know, there's obviously a bit more room than Cadwell. But yeah, no, we only had like 10 entries last year because everyone just runs from it because they're like, nah, like we're not smashing up our car for no one.
just in the back of that, Kayls, do you have? You've been racing for a while, and you're really really good at what you do. Do you have a specific memory of the best overtake you can think that you've done?
You know what? It's kind of funny that we're on the favourite track thing, because it's definitely at Cadwell. It has to be at Cadwell. I'm going to have to send you, after this, I'm going to have to send you the video. If you want to put it in the podcast, you can go ahead, because I can 100% rate that it's probably the best overtake in the UK of that year, honestly. It was coming up to, what's the corner called? It's like the double right at Cadwell before you come back down the hill towards the start finish. And I came through there and I was behind this guy, and whatever way I was towing him up the hill, because there's you gain a lot of time from towing people around Cadwell, you know, or else you just have to dive bomb really. But I towed him down the hill and back up towards that double right, and whatever way he broke, like hit the brakes about 1,000 meters before the corner. I did not expect it, and I just pulled out, but I didn't brake because I didn't know, my brain wasn't working. And then I made the corner somewhat and had an overtake. And I think I was third in that race and overall, like over the clubmen's. But honestly, I can't explain the overtake. Like, you just need to see it. I came in and I remember the driver coming up to me being like, you know, came straight up and was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, there was no contact. Like, it was just, you just didn't expect me to be there when you looked. And then the team were like, "What did you actually do?" I was like, "I actually could not tell you what actually happened. I just know I was on the inside at one point." And then we went back over the camera footage and they were like, "Kayls, like, what is wrong with you?" So yeah, that's probably one of my best overtakes. One of them, or that's probably the one I have in my memory for most from overtaking. Karting's just carnage, isn't it? So you can have a lot of overtakes in that. But yeah, that's probably my best overtake. I've had a few in Mondello Park because I raced the Formula Boss Series over in Mondello for a year when budget was running quite low. So we went back to Ireland to a year there. Now, I honestly wouldn't regret what I'd done going back because I absolutely loved it that year. But we were up against like old Formula One cars and like all these kind of big World Series cars and stuff like that, literally double the size of what I had underneath me. So there was definitely a few good overtakes. If you look through like some of the reels on my Instagram, one of the reels is literally all the overtakes from Mondello Park that year. So there's a few in there that are quite cool. I think it makes it look a lot better because the car is literally like humongous, and then you have this tiny little pink light like coming from nowhere. So yeah, definitely some of them as well. But yeah, it would have to be Cadwell. Yeah, I'll have to show you that video because me explaining doesn't justify how wild that overtake was. Me coming in, I was like, yeah, that was a bit stupid, but it worked. It worked. It was fine.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
it worked.
So we've had favorite track, favorite overtake. Have you had like a favorite like chaotic or crazy race you've been in?
a chaotic, crazy race. Oh Jesus. I've had a lot of chaotic races to be honest, but what would be the most chaos in terms of like crashing, like or?
You tell me it. Why not?
Well, the worst race I had in my career in terms of chaos would probably be Croft last year. I had a massive off. I hit the pit wall on the start line.
Ooh.
Don't look at me and be like, what the hell is she hitting the pit wall for on the start line? No, don't look at me like that, right?
It happens. Believe me, it happens.
I have a
That's all the
reason.
legends do that.
Yeah, I have a reason for it behind it. Yeah, so I went out on the outlap and the car was only running on 2 cylinders, so I had to pull into pit lane. And they had to try and it was a wiring issue. We had it all weekend. But I pulled in because it just didn't sound great at all. I just didn't want to run it like that. So I said, right, I'll pull in. But there was oil spilt on the circuit on the outlap, so they stopped the whole race. So the race hadn't even started yet. And then I eventually got it running. But I thought like the race hadn't started. So I was like, right, I can take my race position. If it had started, then surely, you know, I would have started from the back, would have been fine. And they were like, no, you start from the back. But we had really good pace that weekend. We were starting on the second row, fourth. So I was like, it's fine, I'll start from the back. I can just come through, like, you know, these things happen. Yeah, I regret being okay with that. I wish I had said, no, I want that position up the front. There was no fault of their own. Like there was a few novices on the grid, which I've been in that position before as well. And I had been practicing, obviously my race starts, I've been in the series for 3 years. So I've, you know, with the experience between the two of us, it was totally different. So I got a really good race start, and then obviously the novices got going. So I went between the two of them, and then yeah, bang. And I went backwards in the pit wall, but I think I was in third gear at that point, so I would have been 50, 60 miles per hour. So you can imagine the rear end damage of the car.
I would say the pit wall there is literally like just a solid wall as well.
It's a solid wall. Yeah, I had half of Croft's wall with me coming back home, so it was great.
So Bill Sudlow, who's the chief marshal at Croft, if you want your wall back, it's Kayls.
Yeah, no, if they kindly want to come back, their red and white paint paste stuff off the wall, that'd be great because it's all over the back of the car, so it's great.
Just kind of off the back of that Croft incident, as marshals, we can sort of typically tell when someone's heading off into the gravel or going to crash, unless it's one of those freak incidents. Can you, like, as a driver also tell, or is it kind of like, I only know when I'm heading towards the barrier or stuck in the gravel trap?
Well, when I was at Croft, I didn't expect it. I just kind of I blinked and I was in the wall. But any time else, I kind of went into the gravel in my own fault or kind of had a mishap on track. Yeah, you can kind of see it coming. Like the car, you know, you obviously you have to be in control of the car. But if you go off, whether that's to not heating up the tires or getting up to temp, or you know something goes wrong with the car and the part comes off and it just causes you to come off. Yeah. You can kind of see it coming. Obviously, you don't want to see the gravels or the stones or anything like that. But yeah, you can kind of see that stuff coming. But in terms of crashes, yeah, no, any crashes I've had have, you know, obviously I've been in the gravel and stuff before, but any kind of crashes I've had have been kind of unexpected and I'm just there.
So. Fair enough.
Have you ever lost any major bodywork in a crash?
You know
as in it's been left at a marshal's post and you've had to go back and pick it up again.
Yeah, no, yeah. Silverstone, yeah, there was about 2 wings there. Yeah, the 2 front wings are at Silverstone on what's that straight called? Yeah, one of them. And then Cadwell, there was 1 wing as well. But Cadwell's, of course, I was going to lose a wing at Cadwell. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, in terms of like losing stuff, no, you know what? I haven't lost materials off the car, but I'd say the amount, like that tow truck at Oulton Park sees me coming every time. Honestly, every time I go to Oulton Park, it just wants to eat my engines. Every time I've been to Oulton Park, I have not gone one weekend without my engine blowing up there. I don't know what it is.
See, the
I
bigger
went
question
there.
is how many
Went there in
weekends?
I went there in 2023. Blew it up on just before I came around on that chicane down the back. Blew it up there. The year after, went back there and blew it up coming up the hill. I swear down that the guy in the tow truck actually speaks to me every time I go there, and he's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hi." And he's like, "So what engine we've got into this weekend?" I'm like, "Don't curse me." So yeah, no, to be fair, I've actually made a few friends in the Marshall side of stuff because Oulton Park sees me coming with them engines, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to eat them today this weekend anyway." So
Kind of a weird off topic almost. When you're finished the race weekend, what is your go-to comfort meal?
oh god. Oh, I don't know. You caught me on that. You caught me off guard here, and to be honest, I don't know. Well, I obviously lived in Ireland last year, coming back from races. So, it would have been, coming home to my mom and probably like her shepherd's pie or her steak, typical Irish mommy's dinner, like. But now that I was living in the UK the last 2 rounds, I'm living by myself. So I don't know. You wouldn't really eat all weekends. Then you come home and you have a massive feast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually don't know. I kind of miss coming home to my mom's kind of like Irish dinners, to be honest. Now I come home and I kind of like, I have to look at the fridge and see what I actually have.
Obviously, being a race driver as well, do you have to control your weight during the season?
Say that again, sorry?
Like being a racing driver, do you need to control your weight during the season?
With my like food and training.
I know it's
and
not
stuff like
obviously
that.
not as sensitive as the F1 stuff, but
yeah. No, definitely.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, the question is definitely a good one. It's like with the training and stuff like that. I've said to a few people this week that I've been kind of talking to, like, when people kind of see Formula One that don't really have much interest or don't really know much about racing cars or drivers, like they just think, oh, they get in the car and go around. But like behind the scenes of preparing to get in that car, whether you're in Formula One, Formula Forward, go-karting, anything, if you're not seen, I found it myself, if I've not dedicated myself to the gym or dedicated myself to training and food and being on that kind of fitness plan to be a better driver, it definitely shows in the car. Like it's insane. Like if I go out and if I've not been in the gym, if I've not been training, you can see the performance in the car and difference. It's just, throughout a race you'll lack or you'll kind of lose it, and if you've not been training, that's when you can see it. So it definitely training and nutrition, etc. Or mindset as well. That's definitely been something that I've kind of taken a massive interest in over the last couple of months. I had a mindset coach last year called Michael Murphy. He helped me with a couple of things before races, and like when he was helping me at the start, I was like, this fella is insane. Like I was like, everything he was saying, I was like, oh yeah. But then when I started kind of doing stuff he was telling me about and, listening to this music before I went out, and it sounds crazy, absolutely sounds insane, but like putting the headphones on before I get out in the car, or eating these meals before I go out, or, doing these stretches before I get in the car, it genuinely, it like I have a thing of doing it now because I know if I don't do it, I'm not going to go out and win. And that's how I've always kind of done it mentally now as well. So definitely mental, physical, everything in that plays a massive part as a driver, and over the last 2-3 years it definitely has shown me that it's a massive part in it. So
what's your go-to like music then, or
Movie song, let's hear it.
I don't know, you know what, last year, right, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Last year I listened to this song. I know it's incredible. Never Say Never by Justin Bieber. Okay, don't look at me crazy, right?
Right.
Never Say Never by Justin Bieber. I listened to it once before I got out in the car, and I pulled at Silverstone.
Bluetooth disconnected.
So after, oh, your Bluetooth's disconnected there.
I don't know, me or something else.
I listened to Never Say Never by Justin Bieber for one race and I pulled it around Silverstone. Ever since then, I have to listen to that song before I get out in the car.
Right.
Fair.
If I don't listen to that song, I'm not winning, or I'm not on the podium, or I'm not going anywhere near the top of the grid. So yeah, it's just in my head, to be honest, I'd say. But
Have you ever driven a Legends car?
No, but I'd love to. There's guys, I don't know if you know them, Paul. They own a team over here in Ireland, but they go to Knockhill all the time.
Right. Do they race
Paul
in the
O'Brien.
Do they race in the Scottish Legends Championship? You know.
There's a few of them. There's a Pink Panther car that races. You've surely seen it. It's like literal, like pink. So there's a few like Derek. Oh, I don't actually know their second names. There's a few guys in Ireland that do it. POB Racing, Paul O'Brien. He has a team over here in Ireland. He goes over for the British touring car because they run alongside the British touring cars sometimes, don't they?
Yeah.
So I've spoke to him a few times, and when I was racing in Mondello going back about a year or two ago, he was like, Kayls, we need to get you into a legend. Like, it would actually be quite cool. And I was like, well, I'm not getting in no legend unless it's that pink one. So we need to come up with some sort of a deal.
The legend grids at Knockhill are usually about 32 strong on such a small wee tight track. It's brilliant.
Terrifying.
It's crazy.
Crash happy.
My power bank has just literally gone dead, and I'm on 2%. So I don't want to die on you and like die.
It's fine.
Listen,
but I actually have a meeting at like 5 o'clock. I hate leaving you. Bye.
Oh God, it's fine.
I'm leaving at 5.
Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much for coming out the podcast. It's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you reaching out as well, guys. And if I can come on any point and kind of or even encourage more people to try and get involved in the podcast, I 100% will.
No, thank you.
Perfect. Go get a charge.
We'll let you go.
I know, yeah. Yeah, my sponsor, I will be like, can you give me like 10 minutes because I have 1% there working on me. They're going to be like, yeah, this one's a race car driver. What's she doing?
Right, we'll let you go, Kayls. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you. Thanks again to lovely Kayls Cole for coming on to this podcast. It's been a great chat with her about our event that's happening a week on Sunday, 15th of February, the KCR Sprint to GB4 and the road to F1 Academy. I want to say thank you to my two co-hosts, Amber and Orange, and the Cadet Marshal.
Hey, I'm still here.
As always, guys, this will be going live on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for your listening pleasure on all the usual streaming platforms. And now, as you all know, you can visualize us on YouTube. You can also get us
little faces.
You can see me in this beautiful Edinburgh jacket.
Get us on the website, which is www.fromthebanking.co.uk, which is where you can also listen to the latest episode, which is embedded into the code of the website. Thanks very much for listening, guys, and we'll see you all next week.